The last topic in the part 1 is the 10th topic, that is completing the square method. Now, completing the square method is a long one, and I'm sure throughout the term during the lessons this was explained in detail. Now, in these videos, I'm going to tell you the simplest and the easiest methods. And if you are comfortable with this, you can go with this. It's simple but lengthy. And now there are other methods to solve the same problem. And since part 1 and part 2 you will have MCQs, it is easy to deduce the answers with the known options. Now, before we start this topic, you must know few of the things. That is, equation of axis of symmetry is given by x equals negative b by 2a formula. Then the whole square formulas, if you're not using the completing the square method, then these are the formulas. The reason I'm not doing this is because many students ask me for alternate methods rather than completing the square method, and so this method can be employed. But you need to know the whole square formulas, which you have used many times before. That is, a plus b the whole square equals a squared plus 2 times the ab and plus b squared. When there is minus over here, a squared remains same, but the negative 2ab becomes negative, and then the remaining is b squared. And over here, there's one more thing. Now, if at all you remember this, this is the parabola. A quadratic equation graphed is always graphed into parabola. Now, it will either go upwards, that is opening upwards, or downwards. When does it open up and down? It's very simple based on the sign of the equation. The a value, if it is positive, it will open upwards. Whereas if it is negative, it will be opening downwards. So you need to be thorough with this. And when it is positive over here, you can see the vertex will be at the bottommost minimum point. This will be the minimum point. Whereas over here, when a is negative, it will be opening downwards, but you will have a maximum point. So these are few of the things, and with this information, you can easily solve problems. You need to write these function in vertex form, find the axis of symmetry, then find the vertex and determine whether it's maximum or minimum. Now, you will have 4 options. You can solve the options and come to this equation, or there is one method. That is, first, let us solve the vertex. That is, minus b divided by 2a. So this is the formula. Let's substitute over here. Negative sign remains. This is in the formula. B is 2. Now, before we go ahead, if you have forgotten the standard form, you can go to mod phi, and the third option is quadratic. This is the standard form. That is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, b is the second value before x, and a is before x squared. That is nothing, so it is 1. Now, the answer over here would be negative 1. So in the graph, if the graph is something like this, you know the axis of symmetry, this point, the x term of this point is negative 1. So now this is the vertex, axis of symmetry. So they are asked us to find the axis of symmetry over here. Sorry for that. Over here. Now that is negative 1. We have not done the vertex form. We'll wait for it. We will find, after finding axis of symmetry, let's find the vertex, because the x value is the same. But what about the y value? Now in this equation, you know the x value. Just substitute x as negative 1 and find y. So y will be equal to, once you find the vertex axis of symmetry, minus 1 over here. Put that value, whatever answer you get, put it over here in the equation back. It will be minus 1 squared plus 2 into minus 1 minus 5. Let me just erase this. It will be minus 5. Now, when I solve this, I'll get 1 minus 2 minus 5, and the answer will be minus 6. So now I know this point is x value is minus 1 and the y value is 6. So the coordinates of the vertex, I'll write it. Axis of symmetry is minus 1. The vertex is minus 1 comma minus 6. This much information we have. And determine the maximum or minimum point. Now see over here, this is positive, so it'll open upwards, it'll have a minimum point. So this is minimum. we have still not finished the vertex form. So how, if you go back over here, you might have remembered this is the standard form of parabola. So now you can, if there is one over here, if it's simplified, you can easily solve it up. See how? Because we just now found the values, right? Over here it's anyways mentioned. The vertex h and k is given, and the standard form states a into x minus h is the vertex, x value of the vertex, minus x plus k. Now if I substitute everything, a is 1, so leave it, x minus 1 times minus becomes plus 1, the whole squared, sorry I forgot it, minus 6. This will be the standard form, I mean the vertex form. You can write it like this, or there's one more method. If you remember the whole square formula, let's apply the whole square formula to this and let's solve. Now when I apply a whole square, it will be x squared plus 2 times x plus 1. And then what is remaining? Minus 6. So what happens is x squared plus 2x minus 5. So this will match the question given. So there are many methods. So these are the methods to avoid completing the square, completing the square method, and you'll directly get the answer. If you're thinking, how did I get this? X plus whole square formula, it's a plus b the whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Just substitute over here and you will get the answer. So because you will be given the options, what you can do is, it depends on what they ask. First of all, you can easily solve for the vertex. You can find the axis of symmetry, maximum, minimum. If they have asked the vertex form, with that information you can deduce which is the correct option, or you can just expand the given options and get the answer. Same thing can be done for all the others, because all the vertex form. Now for example, this one, let me solve the last one. Other parts are all same. Say I'll just do this, minus b by 2a, minus 6 divided by 2 times 3 will be minus 1. So x is minus 1. Now all I do is put this minus 1 in this equation. You can directly do it in calculator. Say now it will be 3 times minus 1. Please use brackets because negative sign is there, and when you square it, it will be positive. That's why I use bracket. So over here, sorry, lastly minus 1. Now I'm getting minus 4. So this is how we get x value of vertex is minus 1, and k value or the y value of vertex is minus 4. And now since over here it's positive, it is minimum value. Over here you can see it's negative, it will be maximum. This is all depending on the a value, whether it's positive or negative, whether it's less than 1 or greater than 1. Now we have found all this very easily. What about this? We will use the whole square formula. 3 multiply it with what? Use the formula. It will be x squared plus 2x plus 1, close the bracket, minus 4. Remember the brackets, this must be multiplied first. It will be 3x squared plus 6x plus 3 minus 4, and 3 minus 4 will be minus 1, and that's it. This will be minus 1. So this is the same as the question. So if you simplify over here, it'll be minus 1, and you can see it matches. This is one method which you can easily employ. And there are some real world problems as well. It is very straightforward as well, but you need to thoroughly understand the question. Let's do one of this. The height of a firework at an amusement park celebration can be modeled by quadratic function. Now, the height of the fireworks are being modeled by quadratic functions. Now, suppose the firework is launched from a platform of 2 feet. Now, you're not starting from the ground. It's not started from the ground, not at zero height. The height is 2 feet above the ground. That is the initial height, h naught, ho, initial height is given 2 feet off the ground. So h naught is 2. Velocity is given as 96 feet per second. Use this function. This is given, it will be given in the question, where g is 32 feet per second. All the values are there. You need to represent this in an equation. So substitute the value. What is g? Put it over here. Half, negative half, g is 32 t squared. What is the velocity? Put over here. And lastly, the height. So just substitute all the values and simplify. 32 divided by 2 is 16, and the rest remains as it is. And everything is in terms of time. See, negative 16t squared plus 96t plus 2. Now the next one is either completing the squared method, or you can easily solve it by just now whatever we learned, the same method, or just find the vertex and find the y value and substitute. You will get same. You can do many methods, you can get the same answer. And then lastly over here they have asked to find the vertex. So the equation we had over there, just solve for the vertex. It is minus b minus 36 divided by 2 into 16. So it'll be 96 divided by 32, 32, 64, 96. It'll be negative 3. So that will be, sorry, I've missed one thing. This will be negative as well because it's negative 16. This cancels, it'll be plus 3. And the answer is plus 3 over here. Now, if you want to find this y value, just substitute this back over here instead of t. Let me do that. So take out your calculators. And now it is minus 16 bracket 3 square. You do not need to use bracket when it's positive, but it's a good habit to, use bracket all the times. 96 into 3 plus 2, and the answer is 146. This is how you get the vertex. And now since it's negative, it will be opening downwards and you will have a maximum value. So it is a maximum value. So this is how. Try this problem. It's similar. All the values are given just like what we saw just now. Same way. Try it by yourself and then check the answers. All the answers are shown over here.